gratification was a key to maneuvering that for me as well.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and the wisdom of how they sold their first million.
So tell us when you realized that, Matt, that of course you don't have this issue, otherwise you won't have the success that you have. But what was the moment that you said, you know what, I need to let that go. I'm not a big deal. This ego need to get out of the way.
Yeah, interesting you said that, because it's true. All of it, even those who aren't entrepreneurs, everybody has an ego, right?
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as entrepreneur, we have just bigger.
Yeah.
So it's worse to let it go. Yeah.
I agree. The thing is, though, honestly, is nobody's great at everything. And so, number one, like, you're going to find people better than you at things that you're not great at. So finding people that are better than you at the things that you're not great at allows you to concentrate on the things that you are and feel that you're really great at, or also that you like doing. Things that you don't like doing, you tend to try to even if you're an entrepreneur, you tend to avoid the things that you don't particularly like. So bring in great people to do those things is one way. And then the other thing too is,
but then, Matt, you never felt threatened by these people, right? You never felt, tell us a little bit more.
Well, yeah, so no, that's important, because the great thing about being an entrepreneur, if you're the founder or owner of the company, you're not really worried about your job. You're not going to fire yourself. So there is that advantage.
Very good.
And then the other thing I think is too, if you're going to scale something, you have to just, let's say you are the greatest at something and somebody else can only do 90% as good as you. You do have to get to the point to where you say that 90% is better than the majority, and I'm good with that. And it's hard to just say that like that, but it is a little bit of, you have to let go.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's got to be you touching everything, and you'll never be able to scale. And then, things that, like, pet peeves or stuff that we have. Like, I used to, everything was important, from, like, I didn't want to walk into a shop without a light bulb being out. But if I with 650 locations across the country today, if I really think that all 650 of those locations don't have a light bulb out, I would drive myself crazy. So you a little bit have to let go of some of the details and pay attention to what matters way, way more.
Yeah, let's expand on this, because I remember, Matt, my first business was property. We managed to sell 5 million. And I remember that starting out as an entrepreneur, at the same time that I have that ego, right, that, I'm a big deal, I'm running this business, I'm thinking, I'm this guy that don't trust anybody. I'm thinking, wow, how come I'm going to hire people? You crazy? What happened if they go inside the house and they steal the computer and the stuff from my tenants? No way I'm going to allow this. And then how am I going to have a manager to have the contact of all my landlords? Crazy. I don't trust anybody. So maybe they contact all the landlords and take off my business. So I started as my beginnings, like, I don't trust anybody thing. But this thing was killing me. I was exhausted. I had to do everything myself. I'm going to bed. I'm waking up with the laptop in my lap and sleeping only 4 or 5 hours. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Yeah, the bank account have a lot of money, but I'm exhausted. And I don't want to let it go. And I think that what happened, talking about this 90%, of course, I want to do everything 100% how I want it. And I had this mindset that, I won't take 90%. But you know what happened, Matt? I had to surrender to it, because I'm thinking, these people in my end used to have 177 tenants. They all want to talk to me, because, if they want to bring a friend or the family comes, or, it's me, it was Harry. The structure was like this to allow them to do. So they knew they talk to me, they can get away to bring a friend or to bring a family, whatever. So they will wait until 3 a.m. If they have 25, I need to speak with Harry. So I have 177 people that want to speak with me all the time. And then you have the team. I'm thinking these people are going to kill me. They don't care. There are so many. So
Yeah.
out of survival, Matt, I have to be okay with the 90%. And I also, out of survival, I said, you know what? What about if this is, I don't do this thing out of myself anymore? And, I'm making it out of that because at the end of the day, you're 100% right. I don't need to feel threatened about anybody. At the end of the day, I'm the owner. Nobody can fire me. Oh, actually, my employee did fire me. They told me go home, don't come. Yes, that's true. Sorry. My general
Yeah.
manager told me once, Harry, what are you doing here? I said, look, I'm coming to see you guys. I said, don't come here. Stay at home, travel the world. We can run this thing without you.
Yeah,
so
it's so
it's
true. And
beautiful what happened, but
yeah.
so it take that kind of person to surrender that ego. So how
Yeah, the
how was your
reality in
case?
that,
How was your case? How was? Tell me a little bit
yeah.
more because I relate to that because you say very easy. Okay, now I have to be okay with the all so many locations doesn't have a light bulb, but it's hard to
It
to be okay with it, right?
it is except a couple things can help. A couple things help me. Number one,
Mm-hmm.
you end up getting so diluted and so exhausted that you're not doing as good as you think anyway. And
Exactly.
so that's
You just
that's
tired,
just the reality,
and you're thinking you're
right?
working, but you just tired, my right?
Yep. And so then you're not doing as great as you think. And then second too is people will make mistakes. People will let you down. The great thing about that is you also understand that that's actually where you have an opportunity to create an even more loyal customer
Mm-hmm.
and so yes, the experience was bad and you
Mm-hmm.
never want it to be bad, but if the people then understand that you care and you come in and you fix it and make it right, it's
Mm-hmm.
amazing how you can take an upset person, whether it's a customer or an employee or
Mm-hmm.
anyone, and then transform that relationship completely just by stepping in and doing everything you can to make it right and fix it. So when you do understand that stuff will go wrong, people might let you down, but you also from that can create an even more loyal customer and that word will spread that no matter what might have happened, you made it right. Is I think there's a lot of power in that, and if you can accept what a difference that can make too, that will allow you to let go a little bit.
Yeah. Now let's talk about expansion because I remember when I had my business, I was thinking, okay, Harry, this business that you have, this property thing you have, as it is, it's just a small mess. So if you expand it, what you're gonna expand is a big mess. So before
Hmm.
expansion, I tied a few things and still I have challenge in expanding. I expanding too fast, so I have a little bit of cash flow issues. There were moments that I'm thinking I'm going into the office and I have like 10 pounds. It was in London, 10 pound in my bank account, and all these 177 tenants and all the office and all the employees. And I'm the only one who knows that there is only 10 pounds in the bank account and just need to go in, smile, and pretend that everything is okay. And the only responsible for expanding too fast was me, right? I
That's
was
right.
telling the team, okay, let's get more houses, and without knowing that, wow, this thing can get a cash flow issue. And since
Hmm.
God, it was a property thing. So next day people pay rent, and then money comes, and then you can make payment. That there were days, more than one, that we're running a big operation, and the bank account just appeared 10 pounds, 100 pounds. I'm like, oh my God, what happened?
Hmm.
What bill came? What when you have a big volume, This happen more than you think. So tell us any story about expansion, Matt. How was the
Yeah,
biggest challenge and how you overcome that challenge?
the cash flow, I think, is always a concern for. I mean, by definition, an entrepreneur is willing to take on more risk than others, and so any entrepreneur that doesn't come from money, I came from nothing, and so there was always for me the cash flow stretch, and I tended to push it far. As I got bigger, what I needed to learn is, I had to learn to model like down case scenarios and learn to think through, well, what is plan B if plan A isn't working, and what does it look like? Whereas early days, I didn't know those skills yet. So it really was a scramble, and sometimes borrow from Peter to pay Paul. Really, when I started expanding, this is a real scenario. In the first 5 shops, you had the first one that was making money, you had one that was losing money,
Oh yeah.
another one that was breaking even, and another one that was losing money. And so basically net everything was kind of even. I was scared to death of opening number 5, because if number 5 wasn't making money right away, it could bring the whole thing down. And so
And now you're working more, Matt. You're working more. That's happened to me as well with the houses.
Yeah.
I have 7 houses. Say, okay, let me expand. And then I expanded to 14 houses. And I'm like, how come I'm making the same money and I'm working more? It turns out that I thought that, okay, my problems will duplicate. They don't duplicate. Because now, if you have 7 houses, I just have my tenants people that I can call out, and they did. But if I have 14 houses, I need 2 people in a van, 24 by 7. And now, what I thought that is gonna be duplicated, and the problems combined. If you have 7 houses, you have the problem of these 7 houses. If you have 14 houses, you have 7. The problem of these 7, the other problem of these 7, plus the other problem that these 2 together generate, that nobody count on this until you need to hire an accountant, you need to move on, because now the accounts are bigger and things like this. So tell us what happened there, because this I've been there, so I know what you feel. Like you are like 5, you think I'm expanding, and then you sit at home and say, look, I'm working more. How is it possible? I'm supposed to be making 5 times the money. So how you overcome the challenge, Matt?
Yeah, I think that took a long time. My business didn't take off for a long time. So there was, 2 decades of work going into, and one thing personally for me
doesn't happen overnight, right?
Not at all. And one thing that I did do that helped is I didn't ever take money out of the business of any significance. I wasn't out trying to buy a big new toy or live
you never have anything anyway, right?
Yeah. So I mean
Not
that
you
did
really
help a
need
lot
it.
in that
If you
I
never
wasn't
have
trying
a Ferrari, you don't want to buy a Ferrari, right?
Yep, exactly. So for me not strapping the business and taking a lot out personally
I was very wise.
always helped it. Where understanding some might not be in a position to do that, but I was able to, keep life pretty simple outside of the business. The business was always pushing it to the limit, but outside of that, I kept things under control and didn't need to rely on the business heavily to support me. Because there were years, I would pay myself a real nominal paycheck of $50,000 or so, and wouldn't cash the checks. It wouldn't cash the checks for half a year, right? Because the business, if I'd have cashed them, then the bank account would have went negative. So it was really delaying the personal gratification was a key to maneuvering that for me as well.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.